Wow, hello everybody. It's me, Joycelina, back here on the Just Vanilla server, and I'm starting here in my cactus auto farm. And oh, holy hand grenades, Batman! There is a ton of cactuses. See, and I still need to build up the wall so you can see one floating right behind me, and it's not getting caught. But yeah, I haven't even really been on the server very much, and the little time that I have been here, or the chunk has been loaded or something. What am I doing? Here, this is what I'm doing. I have this full. I have this full, and it's still going through and producing even more. So that's almost halfway through. I'm not kidding. I don't know if somebody else has moved in nearby that's on, and so the chunk is loaded or whatever. But oh my gosh, the amount of cactus this is crazy, crazy, crazy. And the one thing about this farm is there's no way to stop it. Like, the only way to stop it is to not be around, because if you're around, it's going to be growing and it's going to be popping off. And I'm going to probably have to have some way of getting rid of cactuses. So if you need cactus, if you need cacti, yeah, leave me a note or leave me a comment in the video and I'll get you some cactuses for free, because Lord knows, it's not like I'm going to sell that much. Here, I don't need these. Take that. Yeah, so we've still got some work to do here. And then we have to get to the planning phases for what's next. Because the whole point of doing this is that I need to smelt all of this cactus. In fact, I'm going to take these with me. Come with me, cacti. Because, well, not only do I need to get the walls there built up with green concrete, I also want to use green concrete and green glass in my nether tunnel. Which was kind of the point of all of this, is to get started on that eventually. But I need a way of smelting all of this. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to be able to build a super smelter. Yeah, I don't know if that is something that I'm going to have to hire out and have somebody come do underneath. But at least I need to build something above ground. And we've talked about the blacksmith area. And here, let me go get some wool so we can start planning some things out. It's hard. I have an idea in my head of what I want, but I don't know how to make it. I want to build a statue, and I don't do statues. I've never done a statue in the game, so I don't know how to translate what's in my head to actually being on the blocks. So here, let's get some. Yeah, let's do the wool, because if I do the dirt, I don't have much wool left. What happened to all my wool? Did I leave it? Oh, here's some more. Okay, that should be enough to start. That should be good enough for now. So I don't do statues, but I thought it would be really cool, since we are looking at a blacksmith, if I could have some type of small dragon. I don't want to be too large. Oh, good grief. It's starting to rain. Please do not spawn a skeleton horse out here. Please do not spawn a skeleton horse. But what I was thinking is I don't want it too tall, but it's going to have to be at least, what do you think? Probably at least 15 blocks high, huh? 1, 2, oh, get these out of my, I can't jump and place blocks with those. You guys are probably much better at it, but it doesn't work for me. Huh, how high do you think we need to go? Okay, I have feather falling, right? Yes, feather falling 4. That should be tall enough for like a dragon of some type, right? Come out a little bit. Maybe come out about 5 or so on each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see how big this would be. 1, 2, 3. This is why you don't build on camera. 5. Okay, and let's jump off. Ah! See, look at that. Hardly took any. I didn't take any damage at all. And I got mending on my boot, so it won't matter. So, yeah, so a big dragon. So the wings on it wouldn't be that high. The wings would probably start, I'd say, somewhere around here-ish, maybe? Because we need to have a long neck. Oh, I should have brought shears. I should have brought some shears with me. Maybe 1 block higher. But where they come down or they come up a little and then come back down and then have some place for some feet and a neck and a head. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but that would be, if I had my druthers, that's what I would do. And then have like lava dripping from the mouth into like a circle area that would be essentially the forge. You know, bonk, 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 bonk. Huh. So that would be, so it would spill into here, and this would be like this forge of lava. And yeah, and then we could have, so that we'd have the place for the lava, and we'd have like an area for the anvil nearby. Yeah, and we might have like a stack of them just because, you know, or at least 2. Maybe not 4, but at least 2. We'd have some coal stacked up around here, just intermittently, a stack of coal. Right? What else do we need in our blacksmith? So we'd have this here, but I still would want probably along here, you know, a bank of what are those things called? Ovens? Yeah. So furnaces. Yeah, that would be it. Not ovens. That's such a mom thing. What's that thing called that I cook things in? Oh, it must be an oven. A convection oven. No. So, and we'd have furnaces here, maybe stacked up even higher. And then we would want a place to like display our wares, right? We'd want a nice display, a couple of stands, couple of, whatchamacallit? The things that go on the wall, you know, that display the stuff. Yeah, those things. It'll come to me. Item frames. Oh, good Lord, where's my brain gone? I must have dementia. Kind of like a certain somebody in one of my RimWorld episodes. Sorry, Omelet. I'm so sorry. Next time, get out of the toxic fallout. So, yeah. So that would be kind of it, and then we'd build some type of building or shop along here. So this is where the actual, like where he would live, where other things might be, those kind of things. So the shop building, I'd want it to be, or the blacksmith, I don't know, maybe we'll have like part of it be a shop and then part of it be where he lives. So we want it to be a little bit larger. So this is going to be a bigger complex. So yeah, all this wool is the mess of stuff of what we're planning. What do you think? It might not be big enough. I might need to make it bigger. But that's at least the elements that we need to have in it. And then some decorating. So that's the idea in my head. And it's going to take me a couple of hours before I ever even come back to you with like clearly what we think will actually end up happening. So we'll see what we have next for you. It's going to be instantaneously done for you, and you'll come back and go, wow. So at least once I get something done here, I will come back to you. There's a lot of secure knowledge that I will come back. Who knows what will be here? I'm building up the anticipation. One can only wonder. And we'll see you in a bit. So I'm down here in my sorting room, and I'm putting things in chests, and something keeps catching my eye, and it's like, you know, just in the periphery. I'm like, what's that? Oh, look at that. More stone for you, whether you like it or not. Dactyl. Can you believe he's brought me over more stone, which is great, because I think the dragon is probably going to take a fair amount of stone to build. So thank you so much again, and I guess that's just his way of saying, can you do more of the bigger builds? So you know, as anticipated, I'm going to try to do that more often. So less of the dinkier stuff and more of the bigger stuff. And with that, I guess I'll get back to work. But I'm trying to, you know, sort my inventory out because it's a mess, and try to get myself organized, and then I can get to building. Bye. Okay, so it's actually been, I'd say, 10 days since I recorded that last clip, and I gotta tell you, I've been a little, I'd almost say paralyzed when it comes to what it is I want to do. So I know in my head what I would love for it to look like, and I have no clue how to actually make that happen. What I can say is that from this vantage point, I think I need to go bigger in order to get what it is I'm looking for. So I've watched videos, but I don't want to make somebody else's dragon. I want to make my dragon. And so I think that's the biggest challenge, is to really kind of say, okay, I don't know the block placement, and I kind of think I know the size of it, what it needs to be, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. So I think I might do some like block placing with you. I might do some cutting away. I'm not sure which, but we'll see what happens. So this is a very, again, I do things organically, so I haven't done this in a creative world and then bring it over and port block by block here. I'm just kind of guessing how to build a dragon. So rather than how to tame your dragon, how to build your dragon with Joycelina. So I don't know exactly what you're going to see after this, because I'm kind of just winging it, folks. I'm just winging it. But we're going to get to building this, and oh, thank goodness, the sun's coming up. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes, well, I don't want to get anyone doing like a thing where, hey, you're using music and you don't have the right to make that music. So, okay, I'll get to building now. So as I look at this, the first thing that comes to mind is, I think, as hard as it's going to be, it really needs to be on the diagonal, doesn't it? Because this is over here, that's over there, and really, where's it facing? It's like facing nothing. It's facing nothing. You know, so I think really, as challenging as I think I'm going to find it, we're going to have to try to do something where it's building on some type of angle. It may not be a perfect angle, although really I think at this point doing a 45-degree angle would be easier than trying to come up with something different. But clearly, looking at this, it just doesn't look right having it facing north. I think that's north. I think that's not, well, its spawn is that way. So maybe it's actually south, because I think I went north. We could find out by doing what F3? Yeah, well, I'm facing north here. So yeah, it's facing south. Anyway, like, I don't know why I went on that tangent, but I think I'm going to come back once I've figured out how I'm going to structure. So clearly what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a base, and it's going to sit on top of, and part of this base will be the furnace area. So I'm going to have tons and tons of furnaces, and then we'll have whatever the dragon's doing will drip lava into a pool. That will be kind of what this shape was, only it's probably going to be closer to over here. Okay, so I'll be back. Okay, so I've been working out kind of what the scale of what it is that I'd want to be going for, trying to understand how much of the body it will be thinner, and then it'll get a little thinner and then come up to the neck and then the head, and trying to see if that's the right height and the right width. I think I might want, so I'm trying to stand back in different places and see what it looks like. Yeah, you can tell I don't know how this is going to turn out, but this is kind of the beginning of it. And I think I might want this to be maybe one block higher, but I think I've got the proportions I want. These are the front feet, and then it will extend back some, and it will have a tail that will probably come down to the ground, is what I am thinking. And then the wings will come out this way and this way. So we'll see. Wow, this is quite the experiment, and this may take me a couple of days in real life to do, but it's a Friday night. Actually, it's technically Saturday morning now, so we'll see. It may take me like another week to do this, but I hope not, because I'm going to be out of town for like a week and a half. So if I don't do this now, it's not going to get done till sometime in February. So we will get started. We will continue to do the work, see if I can lift this up and kind of get an idea of where the wings will span and how far back it will go. And I'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, I think I'm getting the basic framework for the body, and I have the body coming down. This is actually going to be the body, but there'll be some legs that'll come up a little farther out. but trying again to get that proportion. And obviously the body is going to be bigger and thicker and will kind of round through here, up into the neck area and the head area. But man, just trying to get a framework of what it's going to look like before I get into the details has been a real challenge. And yeah, so it's probably taken me a half an hour just to figure out this butt part. But we're moving forward, and clearly whatever it's going to stand on is going to have to be larger. I kind of wish I was creative enough to make it feel like he's crashed the building and have the legs come down a little bit further and be like they're hanging on the building. But you know what? I'm stretching myself just even getting this far, so we're going to leave it like this. I'll extend the area of the building so that the dragon is on top of it. But at this point, kind of the fluidity and the asymmetry, I can't even talk. The fluidity and asymmetry that I'm looking for, I think I would have a hard time doing. I'd love to have it to where one leg is higher than the other and it was kind of a little tilted. It would give it more life, like it was a real dragon as opposed to a statue. But, you kind of learn things one step at a time. So I think for me, this is my first foray into ever building a statue. And it's probably more than I've bit off more than I can chew. But we'll continue going. It may look really, really horrible in the end, but you know what? It'll look better than anything I've done before because I've never done one before. So yeah, I'm actually going to be very anxious to see and hear feedback. So let me know in the comments what you think so far, and we'll continue on. Let's see what we get. Okay, Confessions of a Minecraft Builder. So I've been working on the body, and I gotta tell you, I got pretty stumped with what I was doing. I know I'm only trying to create a framework, but man, things were just, I wasn't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling it. So I went into a creative world and I tried to take a look at another video, and if I can remember, I will link to the video of kind of a sample of a dragon, because I just needed a framework. I needed something to build off of. However, I'm building at an angle, and there is nothing on the interwebs even closely related to building on an angle to try to build a statue like this. So a lot of what I came up with, and then so I went to my creative world to try to put something together, because otherwise I'm going to be here all day trying to put things together. So I'm going to see if I can redo this part with what I learned through watching that video and working in my creative world, and see if that helps. Now, the one that I worked off of in my creative world is very small. So he comes down, very small bottom, and then up in a tail. And it actually, I built this structure here just to see what the size was, and it would be approximately about the same size as this, only not as long. It would come up. So I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to break all this down that I finally worked on, which if I come up here, I can show you, and then just redo the head and redo the whole thing. Or if I just want to kind of redo the head area, and then, this thing's hard to maneuver around. And then keep this back end the way I have it, and then create the tail in a different way, but using the skills I've garnered from that video of what kind of tail I can make. The tail in the one in my creative world goes up. But, baby zombie, where are you? I hear you. Yeah, he's going to find his way up here eventually. But I kind of want the tail to wrap down and around. So maybe it's using the skills I got from doing that, and trying to see what we can come up with here. So I will bring you back in a few hours, or if it's been a few days like it has been between the last video segment and this one. But it'll just be moments to you, and we'll come back and see what it is I've accomplished. Okay, so I am back, and I gotta tell you, it I said in the last clip, oh, it might be a few hours, it might be a few days. I think it's been like a week. It's been a lot of work for me to put this together. Who knew that building this in survival was going to be so challenging? A lot of up and downs. You can see the durability on my pick is quite low because we've been doing lots of placing blocks and then unplacing blocks and pillaring up and then taking pillars down. So it's taken a little bit of time, but I wanted to show you, ba-bam! That's what I have so far. Yeah, the problem with it is, now I really like how it turns out. I'm more than pleased. I mean, just scroll back a minute and see the statue that I had, the temporary outline. And mind you, it was a frame that I was going to work off of, but really that was kind of my expectation of what it was I was going to be capable of doing. And so I am more than pleased at how this turned out. This is like way beyond my expectations that I would be able to build this, even with the help and guidance of watching another video. Trying to do this on the diagonal is incredibly difficult. To take something that was straight, where you have just a single block in this way and then the additional blocks right on the side of that, so you have something that's only like 3 blocks wide or 5 blocks wide. How do you do that when you're at an angle? So there was a lot of altering what was in that video, and I'll try to remember to click to it because it was really helpful if you wanted to do a smaller size dragon, because that's the other thing, is that most of the dragon examples that if you go and look for pictures are humongous, and we know that I am in no way at all prepared to do a humongous dragon. I can barely get this one done in the time allotted. So what I need to still do is I need to work on the wings, clearly, and that's gonna, here, let me turn around. So the wing part now is, how do you need the wings positioned? Because I have taken the dragon and the dragon is now in a longer walking type position, how the wings are going to be shaped are again very different than most of what you see on the internet. So most statues of dragons that I have seen have all been like sitting on a pedestal. And then you get into the whole idea of, okay, is it a two-legged dragon where you have the hind legs, and then the wings have talons at the tip of the corners, and that kind of acts like the arms, which I think is kind of like in Skyrim. I think that's how the dragons are there. Or is the dragon a 4-legged creature with wings that are just wings? And so I've gone right now for with the body extended like this, then it's a 4-legged dragon, and that's how he's walking. Otherwise, trying to do wings where the wings are starting here and coming out and then back, I don't know, I might be able to do it because these are really small. So the proportion of these seem to be small. So maybe somehow, but then I'd actually have to have them extended out further, and this would have to be much bigger. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the wings starting from here and probably scale back and in. So again, I'm going to have to just do some investigating as to what that might look like, what it might be shaped like. And even if I find something on the interwebs, trying to do that while working at an angle will be awfully challenging. And then the last thing I have to do is the tail. So then we get into by the time I get done with all of that, it'll probably be halfway through February, because over the next 14 days, I will be out of town for 8 of them. So there's no way for me to finish all this. Oh, hello. Let's kill you before I start walking and talking. Walking and talking. Anyone else? I see you over there. I see your little heads. I can't reach them, but I see you over there. Aren't you over there? Am I shooting at something that doesn't exist? Oh, I'm shooting at white wool. Way to go. Way to go, Joycelina. Are you coming after me? I couldn't tell. It was that time of day. It's like, is it nighttime still? Is it daytime? Is he mad at me? Is he not? Okay. Well, that was a distraction. Oh, I should have seen you in the buttercream armor. Yeah. Hey. Don't shoot the horse. I shot the horse. Whoops. Sorry, horsey. Should have worn armor. Yeah, I'm concentrating. Why is it so hard for me to shoot a stinking arrow? It's not that hard. Here, give me your bones. At least I can get... Oh, hello, Mr. Zombie. Yeah, this is what happens when you pill her up at night and you pull her back down during the day. Are you gonna burn up anytime soon? I see we're not taking a whole lot of damage. Here, there, I helped you out. Anyway, where were we? Oh, we were looking at this. I was talking about my schedule. So, if I see, ooh, it looks really cool from here. Maybe I'm sitting it at the wrong angle. Because the problem is, when you come over here to the portal, it doesn't look as great because it's up high and the angle is you just see the front of it. So it just kind of looks like that. And you're like, what's that going to be? So it's not until you explore more that you can actually see what it is. And that I kind of have a problem with, and I'm not sure how to resolve it. Any tips or hints in the comments would be welcomed. But from this angle, it looks great. Maybe what it is I need the face even wider. So, I mean, dragons have a pretty narrow face most of the time, but maybe because of the way we're doing this, we're just going to have to extend out the face a little bit more here and maybe narrow the neck through here a little bit more. So, okay, with that tells me I have a lot more work to do. This video is long enough, and I gotta tell you, it's probably gonna be a few weeks before I get back to doing the work on this, just based on my work and travel schedule. But I do like how things are turning out. You'll have to let me know what you think. Am I on the right track? See, and this is the other thing. If I just do the tail that comes up, then we're done, and it'll be much easier because I already know how to do that. I already did it in my creative world. So let me know in the comments, because it's going to be a while before I get back to this, probably about another week before I can even log on. And so it's time for you to tell me what you think. And with that, for now, I am going to be out of here, and I will see you next time.